huge camping ground has sprung up in Fuenlabrada to the south of Madrid, more than a kilometre of tents stretching out. Over 2,000 people have been queuing here since last Monday to secure cheap housing. In a few days, this cooperative is putting 2,100 apartments up for sale at giveaway prices, between 120,000 and 170,000 euros for flats of around 80 square metres. Antonia has number 1084. She's keeping her daughter's place in the queue.
My daughter's paying 800 euros a month in rent at the moment. She earns just 1,000 euros a month and her husband earns a similar wage. So financially, they're really finding it hard.
The housing being offered hasn't been built yet, and it's not even known where it will be going up. But in times of crisis, trust rules. The chairman of the cooperative has been dubbed Robin Hood. For years now, he's been selling flats with just a 3% profit margin.
I make under 1% profit myself. That's fine by me. I can tell you that's plenty of money. What about other promoters? They're not making 1%. They're on something like 80% or 100% profit.
In the end, most of these people will have spent 6 days and 5 nights in line.
We group the tents together to help stay warm, and we've rigged up some covering to keep the humidity outside.
The highly coveted apartments are destined for people under 35. It's young Spaniards who've been worst hit by the crises in housing and finance.
I feel helpless, completely helpless. I've tried several times to become independent, but I've never managed to do so. These apartments are a chance for me to leave my parents' house.
Ruben is president of the Movement for Decent Housing. He shows us his shared apartment, which is typical for a young Madrileño. He's from the generation that earns an average of 1,000 euros a month. His rent here is 800 euros.
Okay, so this is my room. There's no central heating, so we have these little electric radiators like this one, because it gets really cold in the winter. People are desperate. Until now, there have been tons of property owners who've bought up entire buildings and just held on to them for 2 or 3 years till they went up in value. Then they'd resell at a profit. We believe that if there'd been a policy of penalizing the owners of buildings standing empty, that situation wouldn't have arisen. It wouldn't have been so easy.
Ruben says what's happening highlights the fact the system doesn't work anymore. If they don't get the cheap housing, these young people will have to continue living with their parents. The age at which they move out is already among the highest in Europe, on average when they're over 30.